sir.
And before we wrap it up, you said you don't have any films that you have to review, correct?
No.
All right. Well, I watched one thing. It was another Tinto brass movie. It's called Capriccio. It's a dramatic romance, obviously with some erotica in it. An American couple comes back to Italy in 1946 after the World War to reunite with their old lovers. It's a lot because the man, he's reuniting with a prostitute, and the woman is reuniting with, surprise, surprise, the prostitute's pimp. There is, unfortunately, some SA that takes place with the woman and the pimp. She was in the military, and he had taken her virginity at that. But from that moment, she was much more enchanted, and he proceeded to love bomb her with a lot of interesting moments with oysters and lemons and stuff that you can read between the lines with. The man and the prostitute, they just go about in the countryside, frolicking. It's very serenic. It's like an old painting, as usual. There was a really, really, really funny scene. I posted it on Instagram, but I'll tell you for those who are not following me. The man's car breaks down out in the middle of nowhere, and they need water for the radiator. So they're like the man and the prostitute, they're like teasing each other, and she's like, "Oh, go piss on your radiator," and he's like, "Well, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna go piss on my radiator." He pulls out his fly, and she's just making weird noises just to like tease him, and he can't do it because he can't focus. So she runs off with his hat. He has like not a derby, but like a fedora. Mm-hmm. He has a fedora, and she pees in his fedora. Amazingly enough, she filled the fedora up with piss.
That shit fake as hell.
It was way too much piss that came out of this woman, and they poured the pee in the radiator, and the car was fine. I'm like, what? But they made sure to accent it real nice. It's like, oh, well, if the car is working and all I had to do was lose my hat, that's fine. And he threw that shit off a cliff. It was really romantic, but it was just like, she peed in his hat. A prostitute peed in your hat.
That's disgusting. She probably got all types of diseases.
But at a certain point, he's more honest with himself. He's not the same young guy that can just go chasing prostitutes, and he's still very territorial about her line of work because she's gonna charm men wherever she goes, and he gets in his feelings and is insecure about it, and just says forget it and wants to go back to his wife. While the wife, she's been writing letters to the pimp, and the pimp is just, he's been living with some other prostitutes, and she didn't know. She genuinely thought they just had like a love for each other that was magical and enchanted. And she finally sees him with like two other women, and he's just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to come see you again. We're definitely going to work this out. And I'm not sure if it was a dream. It wasn't even a dream sequence. They're having some festival, and they're having sex under fireworks. In reality, fireworks do not shine so much light that you see flashes of light in your bedroom. It was very cinematic how it was presented, which grade A for Tinto, but I'm like, if fireworks are that close to your window, you can't hear. There's something wrong. There's something really wrong. And something wrong happens. I think there was a cameo made by Tinto himself, because this, not to body shame, but this fat, old, Italian-looking guy with a cigar in his mouth, which is very trademark for Tinto, walks in the room with some other woman, and Tinto's touching the leading woman on her thigh or her butt while she's having sex with the pimp. And, you know, they didn't arrange that. That just kind of happened out of nowhere, and that's a total violation of trust again. And she had to distance herself from this abusive relationship. Thankfully, they reunite because, surprise, surprise, the man and the woman have a son together, and the son gets sick, and they worry, and they leave, they hop on a train. Again, this is 1946, so trains are like the big thing back then, and on the train, they finally have like sex together. And not like sex, it's just like he gives her some cunnilingus. So it was an all right film. Again,
Shit, so like you liked it. You're so detailed. Nigga said all that says all right. That's funny as hell.
again, he's really good at, you know, detailing scenes, even if it's like as far-fetched as fireworks flashing light into your house.
Yeah.
Unless the whole point of that was so you can't hear a nigga walk into your bedroom and start touching you.
Probably so. That's probably what he was thinking.
I really hope not, because again, that SA scene was fucked up. Because she tried to justify it. Because what happened was he'd been seeing her around. She was working in the military hospital, and he was just delivering drinks at random parties that they would deal with. And he kept saying, I love you, try this candy, try this. And she was just like, nah. And she walks away into like this guarded room, beautiful room, had this nice little shape pattern on the floor and some mirrors. But she conveniently forgets to lock the door, even though he bangs on it like 3 times. And when he bangs on it that 3rd time, he gets in, the SA happens, and she thinks, oh, close the door. Someone might walk in. And he's like, I locked the door. You didn't lock the door. And she thinks, oh, if I didn't lock the door, then I must have wanted this to happen. And that's such a terrible thing to even put into a film. Like, I get it's supposed to be a part of how a pimp would work, where you do like this love bombing technique that gets someone that attached to you here, like a Stockholm syndrome-esque thing, but it's really gross.
I mean, let's be honest, bro. It's a fucking foreign film, bro.
Yeah.
Every single foreign film is creepy. Even the Indian ones are even worse. The Indian one, they have like this guy. It's this guy, and he's like, you know the skunk Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah.
Bro, he's just like this dude. He can whoop ass. He can beat people up. And like, it was one movie I watched. It was one Indian movie I watched. Oh my God. I'm like, bro, this was very uncomfortable to watch, bro. Cause it's like, this is what y'all putting in the film? Like, it's like some Indian alpha male red pill type shit, bro. Like, it was really stupid.